Families who have children with disabilities can find it difficult to navigate the healthcare system. It's even more challenging for immigrant and refugee families. The SMILE organization was formed to help those families, and this week it held its annual fundraising gala. The keynote speaker is a Palestinian-American comedian with cerebral palsy who says SMILE's goals hit close to home.
I don't want anyone in this room to feel bad for me, because at some point in your life, you have dreamt of being disabled. Come on a journey with me. It's Christmas Eve. You're at the mall. You're driving around in circles looking for parking. And what do you see? 16 empty handicap spaces. And you're like, God, can't I just be a little disabled?
This is Maysoon Zayid giving a TED Talk back in 2013. It's been viewed nearly 15 million times. She has since performed stand-up all over the world, and she's working on a comedy series that's going to air on NBC. But her visit to Brampton this week was all about bringing laughter and inspiration to hundreds of special needs kids and their families.
It's interesting to be who I am now. I'm a really outspoken equality junkie.
That passion for advocacy comes from Maysoon Zayid's life experience. She was born with cerebral palsy, grew up in New Jersey, and is the child of immigrants. When she was asked to be the main speaker for SMILE's fundraiser, she didn't hesitate.
What resonated with me was the idea that they were reaching out to disabled kids in disenfranchised and minority families. And I grew up as a minority, a multiple minority. You know, I was a Palestinian girl in an Italian town. They loved me because I was from where Jesus was born. But I was also Muslim. And I know that sometimes for minority communities, disability is a challenge. Sometimes there's shame, there's lack of education. Sometimes there's the best intentions, but maybe old world ways that don't work anymore. Sometimes there's no access to the education needed. And for them to address this needed community, it was just so close to my heart, reminded me so much of everything my dad did for me and how many people don't have the privileges that I had. And I thought, let's do this through laughter.
And that's SMILE's goal. The organization was founded 10 years ago by Sukaina Dada when her family discovered just how challenging it is for immigrant families to find support for disabled children.
My cousin Mohammed, he moved to Canada. And when he moved to Canada, he left behind all of the informal supports in Tanzania. And when we brought him here, we thought, okay, this would be really easy. We can, get healthcare services and supports. He has cerebral palsy. He needed some adaptive equipment. But it's not that easy, especially for a family who's a new immigrant. It's not easy at all to navigate the system.
That inspired Sukaina to start SMILE. This gala celebrates its 10-year anniversary. It now helps more than 150 families find social and therapeutic supports. They also hold special events like RecFest, where kids take part in sporting events they might not normally be able to.
Our goal is to connect people to what's out there, and that's it. And connect with each other. So people who speak the same language, getting together and having socials, people who might have the same cultural values. Many of our families experience discrimination. Many of them don't speak English. So it's unfair that they don't get access to supports.
It's an experience Maysoon Zayid connects with. She's also an advocate for equality and for stronger representation for the disabled community.
It's really nice to see these kids dream big. And I love being able to be in front of them and in front of their parents and make sure that their parents know that even the child that's nonverbal has their own voice. And we must always make sure that children with disabilities are not being spoken for, that their voices are being amplified. And I want to get up there on that stage and tell the kids in this audience, whether you have a voice or not, I hear you, and these people hear you, and we can do better, and we're going to.
So where does that come from for you? Because, work as a comedian, you're launching a comedy on a U.S. network. You're a busy gal. There's a lot you're doing. But this whole advocacy, too, that's a whole other thing.
Okay, so here's where it comes from. One, I had the greatest parents in the world. My mom and dad were like such a gift and such a blessing. And as my voice was amplified by TED Talks, it was translated into 41 languages. I met so many kids that didn't have the parents that I had. And I just felt like, I'm an infertile myrtle. I can't have kids. It has nothing to do with CP. I just can't have them. And I feel like these kids get to have me as the mom that's missing, the dad that's missing, the person that's cheering them on, the person that's saying, I feel your pain. I get that this is tiring. You don't have to smile all the time. You don't have to be inspirational, but you don't let your body define you. And it's such a power to be able to, you know, help people. And I always say I'm so blessed. I mean, I tell jokes.
And it seems the impact is being felt. Abbas Zayid has participated in Smile since he was a child. Now he volunteers. What do you like most about being part of Smile?
To help, being positive, being nice, have a great friends, how to support, and that, yeah.
How do you feel about dressing up tonight? Sunni Muhammad put on his best clothes to attend the Smile fundraiser, but what he really enjoys is their annual Recfest event, where he's been able to play soccer and football. His mother says Smile provides invaluable help to both children and their families.
It provides an avenue, and it shows people where to go to get help. And in addition to going to get help, they bring people together for community events. A lot of children don't really have a lot of opportunities to interact socially. So this I think is one of the biggest advantages of the Smile Kids events have, is that it allows children to come out, to socialize, and gives them opportunities that other children enjoy every day.
What's your favorite part about being part of Smile?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.